Dear students, this lecture is devoted to the discussion of the Eastern philosophy of the Middle Ages. More often, we can find the name of this philosophical system as Arab Muslim philosophy or falsafa. As you know, the philosophy of the Middle Ages had its own specifics. She was a religious philosophy, but in the East, religious philosophy had its own characteristics. Arab Muslim philosophy is philosophical doctrine that was formed and developed under the influence of Islam. The main source of Arab Muslim philosophy are the Quran and Sunnah. But the text of the Quran is very complex and multifaceted. Hence the need to interpret the text of the Quran. This is how the first rationalistic philosophical doctrine of Kalam appears. During the life of the Prophet Muhammad, he himself clarified all the questions. But with his departure from life, society began to have numerous questions about life, being, about how to understand certain principles of Islam. Despite the fact that the philosophy of the Middle Ages is monotonously religious, researchers distinguish several directions in Arab Muslim philosophy: Kalam, Eastern peripatetism, and Sufism. Although the source of philosophical reflections for all of them is the Quran, each direction has its own methods of understanding life, the purpose of man, the world, and other issues. During the heyday of the Arab Muslim Caliphate, outstanding thinkers such as Al-Farabi, Ibn Sina, Omar Khayyam lived and presented the world with their enviable works. They made a special contribution to the formation and development of science, art, and philosophy. Why Arab Muslim philosophy? Because the philosophers were Muslim, but not all Arabs. When the territory of the Caliphate began to grow, the ideas of Islamic teachings began to spread to Asia and Europe, and centers for the study and interpretation of Islam were the centers in Baghdad in Central Asia. Al-Kindi made a significant contribution to the formation of Arab philosophy. In his teaching, epistemological problems came to the fore. In his works, he seeks to prove by means of logic and mathematics that all natural and social phenomena occur according to the rigid laws of being. Al-Farabi, the first philosopher of the Arabs, a Central Asian Turk, is considered to be the successor of the Al-Kindi case. In his teaching, Al-Farabi managed to combine the philosophy of Aristotle and Plato with the teachings of the Neoplatonists. From the first he took logic, from the second he borrowed the ontological system. In God, the Neoplatonistic unit was combined with the ancient Eastern symbolism of light. His philosophy is aimed at questions of knowledge of both the external and internal world of man. The most prominent Arabic-speaking philosopher is Ibn Sina, in European transcription Avicenna. He has written over 300 papers in medicine, philosophy, and other sciences. He is one of the greatest encyclopedic scientists of the time. But Ibn Sina's talent in medicine and philosophy was especially vividly manifested. His canon of medicine is of scientific interest to this day. Sufism is a mystical ascetic teaching of the Arab Muslim philosophy. The emergence of Sufism was associated with the reaction of zealous champions of the purity of Islam to its perversion by the caliphs and their entourage. Muhammad himself did not call for asceticism and monasticism, but he respected ascetics. Sufis was called dervishes because they dispensed with believing that only austerity would help free and an excellent existence and merge with God. The heyday of Spain in the 12th century marked a special rise in science, medicine, and philosophy. The famous scientists, doctors, famous philosophers, Ibn Baj in the Latin transcription of Averroes, Ibn Rushd, Ibn European transcription of Averroes, and others lived and worked here. Interesting, for example, are the reflections of Ibn Badi about an ideal state where neither the police nor the courts nor medicine are needed, because in this state everyone is right. The diseases from external cases are healed naturally. There is no violence in such a state either, since love and justice rule there. With this, we concluded a brief overview on the topic of Arab Muslim philosophy. Thank you for attention. Bye bye.